But yeah, there's been some interesting encounters, and I've been sitting through the whole day thinking, shit, my presentation is going to be rubbish because these guys and what they're saying is so good. You know? And then they know what they're doing. And it's just, I'm like, I don't know why, I just feel all over the shop. I've never done a presentation that I put through the lens of democracy. Either I ignore it or I respond to it. So that's the challenge. That's a whole conference, and even the whole conference isn't so, because you can't ask that question without first defining what is democracy. And democracy isn't what we have. And democracy is an ideal. True democracy would be anarchy, where you have no leadership hierarchy, no power structures. Anything else isn't democratic. Democracy was born out of the idea that anyone could become part of the ruling body. And in fact, we've kept that as an idea, and then, as we do with religion, we've elevated top position to be something that has power invested. And then you match that with the age of capitalism. How can you have democracy with capitalism? That's an oxymoron. They don't fit together. So what kind of democracy are we talking about? So I think we have to start by sort of saying, can design solve, help, build democracy? We have to say, what kind of democracy can design build? And then it turns it upside down, because then you have to look at what are the limitations of design. And design is all about historically structuring known elements into something which gives meaning. For a normal designer, we can strive to make lives better for people. We can improve product design, can improve spaces. We can, with the will of the people, design better urban environments. We can design better food solutions. In fact, the reality is we have all the answers to all of the problems. The problem is willpower. The problem is resistance from people who have power to those sorts of changes, because it disempowers them. Well, we have the power to persuade. Design communication is a business of persuasion. As soon as we reinterpret something, so designers in communication take generally intangible concepts and make them tangible for people. But that simple act is political, because we're deciding what that form will be and what that thing will mean in doing so. So it's not just a choice of what words do you put down. It's then font does that go in. And as soon as you're choosing a font, you're choosing a response. So already at the point of reading something, you're already being manipulated into what to think about. Design determines perception. So what do we do? Do we leave it as something ambiguous so that it's a dialogue? Most communication is monologue. Advertising is not interested in someone asking a question. It's interested in telling people the questions they should be asking. It's not going to leave something uncertain because it needs a clear response, because it's based on quantity success. I have to say that idea of being copied was, for me, was a major failure, because I wasn't intending to be putting something out, but create something that we copied. I was trying to catalyze the idea that anyone could create stuff or make their own interpretation. I wasn't intending to make something then that became a generic model. And certainly with my work then, every week or every month, I was trying to change things. And then even the idea of changing things all the time became something people copied. So then the whole experiment, to be honest. There was no way out except just to go and sit on a park bench for a while. So my graphic design became very stable by that time. The influence I wanted was to push people into taking risks. But what they didn't see that. They just saw a style to emulate. So yeah, that was a failure. 100% because there's a cycle, and a democratic cycle. It starts with something coming up from an indigenous place. And it could be tribal, it could be punk, it could be hip hop, it could be Black Lives Matter, it could be anything that then generates something different. But that difference is always a threat to the status quo. So the status quo then appropriates some of the coding of that, embodies it, feeds it back, and replaces it. So it's not a cycle of risk, it's a cycle of risk and vigilance. You have to be vigilant. Because very quickly, major brands and governments and even religion will emulate a difference they don't understand, absorb it, reflect it back, and neutralize it.